JKB back with my review for Kingdom Hearts 3. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. As I look around the room I'm recording this review in, I can reflect on everything I've collected, from video games to Star Wars posters and even Lego sets. I've got memories that go with everything in this room, and everything in this room is a reminder of my upbringing. In a very obvious way, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a game that captures the same emotions I feel as I sit in my room recording this review. It's a reminder that no matter how old and wise you become, you could still be confused by JRPG storytelling. But, more importantly, no matter how hard life is, you can always be teleported back to better times, to magical times, and all you need to do is play Kingdom Hearts 3. If I told you I understood everything that was happening in this game, I'd be lying. I'd also be lying if I told you I've completed any of the past games in the series. I think I'm coming in from a very interesting point of view, having never deeply experienced any of the past games. I have recently fallen in love with RPGs, and my excitement for this game has been kept under covered eyes. I've decided to avoid almost all of the media coverage and come into this review with a fresh mindset. It's safe to say I understand key plot points within the extremely convoluted 48-hour main storyline campaign. Sora has to come to terms with his emotions and face his fears. At the root of the story, you'll find the epic battle of good versus evil and darkness versus light. It's almost as if the game had a few different teams working on the story, and at the end they mix them all together because there's characters who will randomly show up via black portals that have no explanation. And at times you'll get characters talking about past events, and these moments are even sometimes bookended with whole cutscenes that keep the confusion going. This isn't to say the game doesn't have worthwhile story points. During the coherent parts, I found myself completely engaged, and I'll even admit, in the intro cutscene, I got a little emotional. Having the Disney characters mixed with the classic Square Enix design of characters is a bit strange, but it works on many different levels. Most of the older players that will play this game grew up with these Disney characters, and the attention to detail is unchallenged. They've managed to capture the essence of each of the Disney characters, and that's absolutely no easy task. The only issue I have with these characters is the voice acting on a few of them isn't exactly how I remember them. Mickey Mouse is the standout character whose voice doesn't sound as I remembered it, and therefore I'm taken out of this magical experience every time he shows up. I was left actually surprised that they didn't cast the role with the original voice in mind. Obviously the original voice actor can't do this role anymore, but I just thought maybe they would go with a better choice. Overall, the story has every single lesson you could have possibly learned growing up. Sora is challenged in every way imaginable. It's charming, magical, confusing, convoluted, and unforgettable. It'll forever be a game that I'll look back on with fond, important memories. Visually, Kingdom Hearts 3 does an incredible job of matching the different artistic worlds from the Disney universes. Within the first world, you'll see very impressive destruction physics on buildings within the level that are falling down around you. Another effect that really stood out was the particle effects and lighting systems. As you get deeper into the game, you'll learn new special moves, and every single one of these special moves comes with an unbelievable light show to accompany it. The game has been in a long development phase, and you can see it on the screen with every effect. Graphically, it's really pushing the limits of this generation. Kingdom Hearts 3 surprised me over and over with the introduction of new gameplay elements almost every few hours into the game. There's a basic hack and slash system in place where you use your weapon known as a Keyblade. The game slowly starts to expand the basic combo moves by introducing magic attacks. The game also has an in-depth system for sorting out all of these different abilities and moves. The special moves are designed to tie into each of the enemy's different fighting styles. This means if an enemy is designed to run around the battle area and knock you down, you have a special move that will adapt into something that will counterbalance the attacking enemy. Think of these moves as pure Disney magic. I'd love to talk more about them, but I think you should experience them for yourself. The gameplay action is smooth, with the odd hiccup in frame rate at times, even on my Xbox One X. This isn't a major problem with the game, however, I think it's important to point out. You'll have teammates around you almost at all times. You're able to interact with them during the battle by using the special moves, and by diving into the menu systems, you can control the weapons and moves that they use in battle. When I think about the usual RPG, I think about how repetitive they can become, and that's almost impossible here due to the amount of variety. With each new level, you're introduced to another gameplay element that is just beyond fun. You can go from playing a cooking minigame with a rat to battling in giant robots in first-person perspective. Lastly, there's a major section of the game that I can see some people being a little confused about, and that's the way you travel between these worlds. You'll use a small spaceship called the Gummy Ship. I want you to think of this ship as a stripped-down version of the Ubisoft game Starlink. You'll be able to fly around space and collect items and use giant wormholes that will let you travel faster through this space. You can even get into classic shoot-'em-up battle scenarios against bosses. To top it off, of course, you can build your own ship however you want by collecting items and spending points within the shop. I honestly can't say this section of the game was as fun as the main gameplay elements. However, I can say that this space gameplay is better than most games in the same genre. It's impressive, but at this point, maybe it's impressive just to be impressive. There's no real substance to it. I wouldn't go as far as saying that it's only in the game to pad it out. I'll just say that it's not on par with the rest of the game, and it definitely changes up the pacing, but not in the best of ways. Overall, the gameplay is the most fun I've had with an action RPG. Everything just works well together, and that's kind of not as easy as you'd expect in a game with so many things going on. Leveling up comes at a price that you'll have to pay. Do you want to drop an extra hour into looking around the levels for cash and spending that cash on an upgrade for your Keyblade? Or do you want to spend time looking for more food to take back to the bistro where you can play a mini game with a rat? This is just absurd. The amount of things that are in this game is crazy. The choice is up to you. You'll have a blast no matter what choice you make. They've created one of my favorite action RPGs of all time. There's no doubt about it that this team was passionate about every single detail that they put into this game, and all of it comes off as though it was easy to design and execute. The music is absolutely stunning. The gameplay is the most fun you'll have with an action RPG, and the story is confusing as hell, but if you give it your patience, this game will not only surprise you with its attention to detail, but its magic. It's a sense of wonder. The Disney animated films meant a lot to me when I was younger. There's lessons in those films to be learned, and adventures to be had. Kingdom Hearts 3 fits right into my life. Even as a kid, I had a hard time understanding all of the story in some of those Disney films, and here, there's no difference. I'm going to give Kingdom Hearts 3 a solid 9.5 out of 10. This is just simply magic. If you ever need to go back in time, take this time machine, play this game. For more reviews, please consider subscribing to my show, and I'll see you on the next episode of JKB.